Howdy, here's the other Titania video I was talking about. We're going to be going over a typical Razorwing build with Dex Pixia as our main DPS, and what the different options are for like armor stripping and stuff like that, right? So this will be the first build, Pillage. Now, I say this in way too many videos because I have Pillage in way too many videos. Sorry about it, but Pillage is just so freaking good. And I'm a simp for Hildren, so having her ability on other frames gets me going, if you know what I mean. So, Corrosive Projection we have here, and Pillage, so that we can full strip if we get to 328 strength. We won't be able to get that until we get 63 kills, I think, with Molts Augmented, but that doesn't take too much time. Equilibrium Energized to help our energy because we are negative efficiency. Our strength is coming from Maxed Transient, Umbral Intensify, Blind Rage, and Power Drift. Then we have obviously Prime Continuity, Prime Flow, and Razorwing Blitz because this is a very, very strong augment. We get flight speed and fire rate to our Dex Pixia, as well as that fire rate, even though it says fire rate instead of just like weapon speed, it does affect the attack speed of your Dewada, right? Your Exalted Melee. Not that that matters because Dewada's dog shit. But it stacks up to 4 times, all right? And the buff lasts 8 seconds. The duration is affected by duration, and the like numerical value, I get the power of it, right, is affected by strength, the buffs it gives. So that actually both effects of that stack, the duration and the strength. So every cast you do while in your 4, it's going to give you the buff on the top right. So let's say I cast my one on myself. There it is, 78%, and lasts 16 seconds or so with our duration. Then I can keep casting it, and it's going to cap out there at 313%. Every subsequent cast will just add another like 16 seconds to the duration, and the duration caps out at 4 times whatever it says it is in your stat screen. And this is a very interesting augment to play with. I suggest never having sprint active because see this movement speed? This is without sprints activated. Now let's say I activate my sprint button, right? So I'm going to activate it and run to the wall. Now, see that? I am just tapping, barely tapping the joystick. That's kind of insane. It makes the game pretty much unplayable, so I definitely don't recommend having sprint active unless your brain just is built different and you can actually process what's going on and control it. Otherwise, don't sprint while that's built up. It's very easy to keep up, and it means we don't need to mod fire rate. I see a lot of people use Titania with fire rate still. Like, they use this, and with high strength, like what we're at, we're getting 313% fire rate, right? Or something like that. Wait, no, let me think. Stacks up to 4 times. Yeah, 313% fire rate. More fire rate would be just overkill. We're getting diminishing returns, so I don't see why people will then run max arcane velocity and then say anemic agility on their Dex Pixia. You're losing damage and then running out of ammo faster when you get more damage by running something else. I guess you're getting faster stats procs, but you're going to be shooting so fast already that your stats procs are going to max out on any enemy that isn't dead within half a second. So if you're doing Razorwing Blitz and high strength, I don't really think you need to mod fire rate or have velocity for fire rate here. That's why it's fine to run Molt Augmented and Energize, especially since we need Augmented to get the extra strength. You could go Archon Shards for the extra strength, but I don't have the spare shards right now, so Molt Augmented is fine. We do have 2 green shards right now, but that is irrelevant to this build. It doesn't matter, okay? So you don't need these shards for this build. For the second one I'll show, you will, though. Now, our Dex Pixia. We are going to first show a Viral Heats build with typical crit, right? We get crit rate here, crit damage, viral, heats, Hornet Strike for damage, Galvanized Shot because it does work on this weapon. I'm pretty sure it's additive, not multiplicative, though I could be wrong. Either way, though, it's going to be a big damage buff since we're going to apply a lot of status effects. Got decent status, our crit rate could be higher, but we're still going to get more damage by building into crits than anything else. Now, this is going to be pretty damn effective. We'll go ahead. Wait, do I still have a pet active right now? No, I took him off. Okay, so we'll cast our 4. we're going to want to build up our abilities first. I'm not going to armor strip. This is a build with pillage, right? So you're going to be able to full strip, but I'm still not going to show it with armor stripping. Obviously, we are going to need kills to build up our buffs, but you can see even without building our buffs up, it already shreds enemies, no problem. So now that we're starting to build up our stacks on our galvanized mobs, it is going to do some big PP damage. And there's dots in here too, right? You can see the damage over time does very big damage as well. Or at least for not being built for like slash. So we just shoot the guy, get a few slash procs, and it's gonna melt him. And again, we can just armor strip. So let's say we do this. They're not even full armor stripped yet. Here, we'll actually cast this again so you can see it with them full armor stripped. One shot. That didn't, because it didn't crit. It's going to absolutely decimate enemies. They have no chance of survival. They are just beyond fucked. It's beautiful. She's quite effective and does big damage. And because we can full armor strip, this will work all the way up to level cap. You can kill stuff no problem. Something else that's really nice is in an update a while ago, they made it so you can go into your operator, even in Razorwing. It will put you in the air, so you have to be careful. Like if we're up here and we go operator and we just fall down, we'll stagger. So you might want to like void dash down so that doesn't happen, but you can do that, and it's going to leave your Warframe wherever they were. Though keep in mind, it will consume energy still while your Warframe is sitting there. So see, we're at 615. Now if we go down, we wait a little while, and now we go back in, 590. So it will consume energy still, you have to be careful of that, but it shouldn't be that big of a problem most of the time. And now we are going to show the alternate for this build, right? The alternate Dex Pixia build for this Warframe build, which would be, wait, I'm on Dewada, that's the problem. Which is Viral Slash. This is the only difference in this build is we switched out Primed Heated Charge for Maim instead. So now we have much higher slash weighting on our weapon, which will make it so you don't actually need to armor strip. And this would be if you didn't want to run Pillage, okay? If you wanted to switch off for a different helmet or something, or you didn't want to put a helmet on her at all, say, and you just like the Viral Slash and using the dots, this works perfectly fine as well. I still prefer the flat damage most of the time instead and just armor stripping, but this is a viable option. Again, we're going to need to build up our stacks, though you can see it already shreds the enemy like they're butter. See that? That's some pretty good damage if you ask me. Now, it is going to do less damage depending on how many crits we get, right? So you can see some of the enemies like die out like that. They died out to huge slash procs. But sometimes they won't die out to huge slash procs. It'll take a little longer because we didn't crit as many times. Though overall, it should kill fairly consistently, and because we have Viral Slash, we don't have to armor strip first. This is also a very nice build, and it takes a lot less effort since you aren't going to need to armor strip. And then you can run whatever helmet you want instead. Now, the second build is going to make use of the 2 green shards. We are going to be running Corrosive, so if you want to full strip in this build, if you aren't running the Viral, right, because this is meant to be a Corrosive build, if you're not using Viral Slash, you are going to need the 2 corrosive shards, or 2 green shards for corrosive max stacks. So this build is corrosive cold. Cold damage just because it's an extra elements to proc more on galvanized shots, and because it slows enemies down massively, which is very nice. And cold damage is also going to be getting a buff in the next major updates with the new Warframe Jade, right? Jade Shadows. Cold is getting buffed significantly, which will make this even stronger. Then obviously we got crit mods on and corrosive because we want to be able to armor strip. Decent status chance at 75%, which lets us strip fairly quick, especially because our fire rate will be insane. We still have the augment on. So here's the build. We are running combat discipline. You don't have to worry about losing your health here because you actually heal health passively after you cast an ability. I don't know how much it is. I would get here. Actually, if I cast an ability, it should say, right? No, it does not. It just shows it. Unfortunate. It should balance out. I don't know if it's worth running a max combat discipline depending on how fast you get kills, but you don't need a max one with what I've got on here. So combat discipline, Arcane Avenger, so we can always proc this consistently, meaning another 45% flat crit chance. That will bring our Dewata from 30% to 75%, more than double the crit rates. That will give us a humongous increase in damage. Then we have Arcane Precision. I know it's only rank 1, but rank 5 would be better here, so that on headshot we get 300% more damage to secondary weapons. That is also very nice if you have it maxed out. And Power Drift for more strength, so we still want to build in strength. Our helmet here is Nourish, because this gives us Viral. We don't have any Viral, and because you don't get a pet while in your Razor Wing, you can't spread it with Panzer. But Viral increases our damage massively, so we have to get it from somewhere, which is why we have Nourish. That way we get IPS, Cold, Corrosive, and Viral. And then the extra energy just makes it easier to never have to exit our 4 unless we want to, right? We won't run out of energy. Equilibrium for energy sustain, of course, because it's amazing. Prime Flow, Prime Continuity, Narrow-Minded, Razor Wing Blitz, Catalyzing Shields, so that we can still do some level of shield getting for survivability if need be. You will want Augur mods on the secondary, right? You're going to be in your 4 all the time anyways, so just pick any secondary weapon and slap on the Augur mods so that you can shield gate while casting your abilities, right? So you just slap these on, there you go, you're set. Then Arcane or Precision Intensify, Blind Rage for our strength. We're seeing at 214 strength, and then Precision intensifies another 90% to our 4th ability, giving us very, very big damage. Now, this build is fairly comfortable as well. It does take Archon Shards, which is unfortunate, but it means you can armor strip so that you don't have to build an armor stripping, right? Your guns automatically do it because of corrosive. And it also means you don't have to worry about your slash procs, right? Because if you're going slash, some enemies are very, very resistant to the status effects like Thrax or the new Necromech Demolists or whatever in the Armistice Disruption. So it can be nice to have a build like this that's flat damage with armor strip instead. So we're going to cast this, we need to cast all of our abilities. Remember that you only get the stats immunity from Spellbind when you cast it on yourself. To cast on yourself, hold the ability, and to cast on an enemy, you just tap it. So now we can build up our stacks. Now, in this case, the enemies die so quick, we actually can't full armor strip here. Even if I body shot, you can see they're dying before they get full armor strip from body shots. So you're only going to tell the full armor strip matters on enemies that are usually above like level 500. Otherwise, enemies just die so quick that it doesn't even matter. I actually tried this earlier with an Extinguished Dragon key equipped, so I did 1/4 of the damage I normally do, and even then I was rarely able to get the full armor strips off. So yeah, extremely effective, very big damage. The reason I wanted to make Titania videos, the biggest reason I wanted to make a Titania video is my friend, one of my closest friends, Big Daddy Senpai. He actually streams stuff. He's been streaming a lot of Warframe. If you look Reincarnated Squirrel on Twitch, that's his name right now. He's pretty great. So he has gotten into Warframe. He's been playing like 64 days, something like that. And he's a massive simp for Titania. He loves her already. She is his main. So I wanted to make a Titania video to, honor him and how much he loves Titania. And then he can maybe watch this, or I can just explain stuff to him. So I wanted to test more with her. And other than that, I also want to make a Titania video because I was pseudo-inspired by the YouTuber named Nightmare Frame, who did a video talking about how she's meta, but only because she's fast, and other than that, she's a terrible Warframe. And I actually strongly disagree with that. I don't think that Titania needs reworked at all. Maybe a slight tuning to how her tribute ability works, because it can be annoying to use. But other than that, I actually don't think Titania needs rework. Spellbind is very strong. It has amazing AoE, has an amazing augment, gives yourself status immunity. It can be cast on teammates to give them status immunity. You have decent buffs from Tribute, which are nice, and 4 different Tribute options. You have a very good aggro type crowd control from her 3, what's it called again? Entangle? And because it's aggro, it affects Eximus units as well, and you have an amazing augment for that. Then her 4 makes her very fast, and her Dex Pixia and her 4 do big PP damage. They shred enemies. It's amazing. So, I don't know, I just feel like she's not as bad as big YouTubers like him make her out to be. I think she's actually a pretty great frame. I would probably put her in like A tier. She's really good, really strong, and she can take you through pretty much any content in the game. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. That's gonna be it. I know I showed the Titania fashion off in my last video, but I might as well show it off here again. I have no sigils on, by the way. I definitely recommend trying her out, trying different stuff on her. So if you enjoyed the video, maybe leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more random stuff like this, and dislike the video if you didn't like it, so that I can see that it was due to. Adios.